is everyone doing today? Today, we are taking a look at the Storm Arena Alpha 3 Ryu figure. Now, right off the bat, the packaging is the same as Ken Masters as we looked at before. The only difference is the image of Ryu, the 8-bit nameplate of him, and of course, on both sides is Ryu's image himself. And then the back, the figure in some cool action poses. But that's not what you came here for. You came to see how the figure is and my thoughts on it. So let's get him open, look at his accessories, then we'll take a look at the figure itself. Besides the stern head and the fisted hands, Ryu does come with his Hadoken effect, the standard issue figure stand, the open hands to fire his Hadoken, separate headband piece, and of course, a well painted angry face. So, the same amount of accessories as Ken Masters come with, so a pretty decent set. For the figure, from the feet down, there's not a lot going on here. It's basically the same body except color palette of Ken Masters. That's not a bad thing because if you go through history of Street Fighter figures being released, every company has always had Ken and Ryu use the same body because it was easy. Reuse. Every company loves to use reuse whenever they can. It's from other companies such as Hasbro, Mattel, all different kind of companies love reuse. And this right here is where reuse is good. He still has the same movements, though, of course, the toe hinge, the drop down hips, the butterfly joints, the softer torso, which very nice. It's not like the Maximum Hulk where it's almost completely rubber, where if you try to move the butterfly joint, it'll rip. But the one standout piece here for me, and we looked at the alternate head, the anger one, is how good this head looks. If you pull this figure out, let's say I'm walking down the side of the road on the sidewalk, and you pull this figure out in front of me and ask me who it is, I would tell you straight off the bat who this is. I grew up with this particular look of Ryu. I know there are others who grew up with Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 2. For me, it was Marvel's Capcom. It was Street Fighter Alpha right here. This is the look of Ryu that I think of. The white headband, the brown hair, the brown eyebrows, the red gloves, the works. This is the look that I prefer with Ryu. And to get it here in 1/12 scale, it makes me happy. I'm just happy again to receive it. I'm sure I'll mention that point again in my final thoughts, but he's great. There's nothing else really wrong here. Every detail, every in the in the uniform, in the headband back here, my belt back here is twisted. I will need to fix that later. Or if I can, I don't think I can fix it right here. I think it's it's twisted. I'll have to take it off when I cut the camera and fix it, but I'll do that. But again, everything we have here is great. And if you own the Ken Masters, there's not much difference here other than the head sculpt and the color. But let's jump right into now some comparison. First off, here we have Ryu with Ken Masters himself and the Marvel Legends Gameverse Captain America. And lastly, here he is with some Jada toys, with, of course, their Ryu and the deluxe Evil Ryu. So what are my overall final thoughts of this figure? If I haven't stated it enough, and I probably have, this is a great figure. This is definitely a childhood nostalgia for me. No doubt about it. Like I said, from the neck all the way down to feet, it's a reuse of Ken Masters, just a different colored palette swap. But that's what you gotta expect when anybody does Street Fighter. Always expect Ryu and Ken to reuse the same body and sculpt and everything to share parts. But again, that's what every company likes to do. But the head sculpts is really what sells it. It looks like Ryu. It's painted very well. It's sculpted very, very nicely. And I will say, I think the future is looking very bright for Storm collectibles. Hopefully, they keep this momentum going with their Storm Rain line. I'm looking forward to getting Sagat for sure. But anyway, let me know down in the comments down below your thoughts. Do you agree with my points? Do you disagree? Be sure to do all the other stuff. You know what to do. And as always, everyone, take care.
Plastic Man, the one, the original Elastic Man, always in great shape for the shape he's in, the fantastic Plastic Man.